What's going on, people? It's your boy Big Mikey the Emperor. You know what time it is. We got the Marcus Rashford quotes. Everybody done had this say it's time for the biggest Man United States Southern pot. No, I'm just kidding. It's time for us to have our say, okay? We've all seen the quotes. I'm going to read it to you for anybody that hasn't heard. So Marcus Rashford is talking with Gary Lineker and Micah Richards on what's the name of this podcast? I'd never watch it, so I'm not even going to front like I watch this. But it's on the Rest is Football. Yeah, so it's my first time watching anything of theirs. Great interview. Great interview. Enjoyed the interview. I thought Rashford looks like he's happy. He's enjoying his football. He's enjoying his time at Barcelona. He's realizing that he's one of the senior players. He's not, and he's assuming his role, and he's trying to learn Spanish. So it's a real fun, lighthearted interview. But the interesting part comes towards the back end when Rashford starts to talk about, Man United and what's going on with Man United. And let me read the quote and then we'll get into it. He's asked, he says, "Show me a successful team that just adapts." When Fergie was in charge, not only the principles for the first team, the whole academy set up so you could pick players for 15 years and over. That's a full generation. They all understand the principle of playing the Man United way, right? You see it with any team that's been successful over a period of time. They have principles that any coach that comes in, any player that comes in has to align to these principles or be able to add to these principles. Whereas at United, I feel like United have just been, we're hungry to win, so we'll always try to adapt and sign players that fit this system, but it's reactionary. Okay, he's spitting facts. I'm so far I'm with him. If your direction's always changing, you can't expect to be able to win the league. Yeah, you might win some cup tournaments, but it's because you do have a good coach and you have good players and you have match winners in your team. You're not there by accident. This is what some people forget. So yeah, we've been below where we deem United to be. But then if you take a step back, which I've been able to do, especially over the last 6 months, what do you expect? People say we've been in a transition for years. But to be in a transition, you have to start the transition. So it's like the actual transition has not started yet. This is telling. I think I'm reading the comments. I'm a comment guy. I'm reading the comments. I like to see what the general consensus is, at least on the internet, right? And at least in the comment section of that YouTube channel, people are positive, like extremely positive. I was like, I didn't see he said anything wrong here, but you had the people that already don't like Rashford and just want him to shut up and want him, for various reasons. It could be from the most mundane reason to the most violent, extreme reason. Yeah, they had their say. The guy's telling the truth. Man United has seen so many coaches. And I remember one time I was asked during a podcast, like, for when Ten Hag was in charge, they were like, Mike, how are the younger players supposed to get on with what Ten Hag wants to do? And I remember thinking, like, that's crazy, that the idea that, like, these coaches that are coaching these younger teams will be adhering to what Ten Hag's saying. But it made complete sense. I'm hearing Rashford say, it's like, yo, Fergie had them, you're playing this way. And I'm getting these guys in to teach you guys from young to play this way. We've had how many coaches? Let's just take Marcus Rashford, for example. Marcus Rashford had come in under Van Gaal, gets a shot under Van Gaal. He's seen Van Gaal, he's seen Jose, he's seen Ollie, he's seen Ranić, he's seen Ten Hag, he's seen Michael Carrick, he's seen and now Ruben Amorim. He's seen all these different coaches. And imagine if he's coming in at 13 and you've had this many coaches. There's no cohesiveness there. There's no consistency. There's no anything there. He brings up Klopp later on in this. He said Liverpool, when Liverpool went through this, they had Klopp and they stuck with him, Rashford said. They didn't win in the beginning. A fact. You can say the same with Arteta. People only remember his final few years when he was competing with Manchester City and winning the biggest trophy. He certainly didn't win for 3 years. To start a transition, you have to make a plan and stick to it. So this is the thing I feel that is not easy. But this is where I speak about being realistic with what your situation is. I feel like we've had many different managers and different ideas and different strategies in order to win. You end up in no man's land. That's the whole quote. Agreed. I don't think you could really And you know what? I understand that's what world football is. Like the idea of a coach staying 10, 15 years is dead. Okay. Even when they're successful, if they're not successful enough, like winning cups is not enough, right? So you could do that till the cows come home. If you're not winning the big one, there's only few coaches that staying. You have your Simeones that's gonna be around, but like your Peps that's gonna be around. But like even Klopp had decided to leave after a certain time. He wasn't interested in staying for 25 years. He got tired. He got tired. But just people get fired more often than not. People get fired. We know this. We know this is the way football is. 100%. We've seen it. My biggest thing is what Rashford's saying is that not only is it true, you could see it in these players, especially in their behavior now. Like none of these guys have been able to stick to a program. We have yet to get senior leadership in a team consistently enough. And we're finally building in that direction. We're finally going in that direction. I think Amarim is the right direction. Now, I don't know for sure, but I'm hoping. But it just looks like he's building something for the future. He wants, and he's saying stuff like, I want to be here. I want to be here for the long haul. I want to be here for 20 years. So you see, get this little contingent on the internet that's like, oh, Rashford, you are moaning and sulking, and here you are now. Which part of this is moaning and sulking? Which part of this is negative? He's telling the truth about the club. We haven't had a true transitional period. We've had startups and letdowns. We had Ollie that was getting us to cup semifinals, cup finals, and losing them. You know what I'm saying? We had Jose that won us something and got us to second, and that was the best he could. He even said that was the hardest thing he's ever done is get us up to second with how bad we were and how good City was. You know what I'm saying? Like that kind of thinking right there wasn't conducive. And was Jose really going to stay there for 10, 15 years, even if successful? Probably not. Probably not. So he's telling the truth, and I'm seeing all this vitriol he's getting online. Now, granted, in that comment section, it was very positive underneath. If you read that, take a second to read that. I like to get the gist of what people are thinking online. But these nasty, nasty individuals that are talking about Rashford in this way, it's just to be expected at this point. But I think he's telling the truth. Man United has not had a true start and stop period. We've had just amalgamation of different ideas, different philosophies that has penetrated the club at its core. It's penetrated the club at its core because there's no way you could give Ten Hag all this money. And I was a proponent of the Ten Hag idea. I wanted him to stay, but there's no way you can give Ten Hag all this money and bring in his guys and bring in his coaches and then sack him. And now you don't still have remnants of that play style still showing up. It's going to happen, especially when it's trained. Now, Amarim's starting to train these guys out of this and into his system, and guys are starting to buy in. Guys are coming to this club because they want to be here. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful fucking thing. But I don't think Rashford's 100% right on this. Look at Arteta. As much as people like to make fun of Arsenal's always a tick away from getting it. They're one piece away from getting it. They're scary. You don't want to go up against Arsenal. You don't want to play Arsenal on a good day. You know what I'm saying? Klopp was the same way. Klopp got robbed off a toe line clearance from getting another title. You know what I'm saying? So, and then you have City, the three-headed monster. They buy well, they spend well, and then they get Pep in that's going to be there for a while. Those guys are the longest tenured managers that we've had in recent times in the Premier League. So I think you have to be a little bit more consistent, and maybe this will swing the tide of this hire and fire mentality that like a Chelsea will do, right? Like Chelsea will get you up out of there in a season. Maybe we'll start to see people stick with it, but I understand this is what football looks like. We forget as fans of the top 6, top 7 clubs in England, we forget that like what it looks like at the bottom or what it looks like below us. And when I mean the bottom, I don't mean as far as like in stature. I just mean as far as like the money situation. Most guys are trying to figure it out with what the talent they have, and hiring, firing is normal. It's a part of the job. You have like a whole city that's always going through a manager. Even when they have a good manager, they're getting done for their manager and they have to figure it out, and they're not doing the best right now. It's just that's a part of life. And I had to tell people like, listen, we might need to sack until we get a manager because that's how we move. But once we get that guy, we need to stay in. That's why I'm kind of against people saying Arteta out for Arsenal. Now that's Arsenal business, and I don't need to be a part of that business. And God knows I don't want to be a part of that business. Okay. But I don't think he's a bad coach. I think you stick with him until you get the right results. I don't care if it's been 5 years. You stick with him until he gets you over the, because now to start over with a whole new coach with a whole new philosophy and everything, the likelihood of you winning with that goes down. I think you stick with the I don't think the sunk cost fallacy works here in this situation. You know what I'm saying? But Rashford's not wrong. Rashford's not wrong. There needs to be some kind of consistency, and Man United have yet to see it. Now, the sad thing is he won't be a part of that consistency now. If it works out with Amorim, he's already asked for his move. He's already given us his, oh, I need a new challenge or whatever. I don't see how you need a new challenge when you haven't won the league yet. That's your challenge. You haven't won the Champions League here. That's your challenge. You haven't done that. So why do you need a new challenge? Try to finish this challenge here. But I'm also for players being able to move and go where they're happy. And it seems like he's much happier. That interview was very good. Gary Lineker and Michael Richards did a good job. They asked him some good questions. I think he opened up a lot in those questions too, Pause. I think he really laid it on the line, but people really had a problem with him saying this for United. But it's a fact. It's a fact. I'm even reading in this. No manager in the post-Ferguson era has been given 3 years. Rashford said the club could learn from their fierce rivals. 100%. We could learn from them. We could possibly stay down with a manager long enough. Now, granted, Ten Hag earned his way out the club. But Ollie, maybe we could have stayed with Ollie a little longer. Now, in retrospect, we have the benefit of retrospect to say these things, but maybe we could have stayed with Ollie a little bit longer. I don't know. For all y'all that's mad about Rashford, listen here, bro. Listen here. Y'all got to find somebody else, bro, because he didn't lie here. But shouts to everybody, man. Shouts, if you got this far in the video, man, please like, comment, subscribe, and tell me what you think about Rashford. Do you think that he was off base here? Maybe you should have shut the hell up. You don't like him. You don't care about him. You don't want him feeding your kids. Or was he right here? Could you at least agree that maybe we need a little bit more consistency and like you're not going to get anywhere fast doing this? And maybe the transition starting with Amorim. Until next time, man, thank you for watching. Just a little quick bite I wanted to leave y'all with. Thanks for watching. It stays all right, your boy, Big Mikey the Emperor. You know what it is, coming live from ATL. Till next time, up the fucking Reds. Keep the faith and watch what you say about Marcus Rashford around me. All right?